Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Gathering Paracast and the Cryptovania Network. I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Heidi, and we're in person again tonight.
Yay!
Excited back
Yeah.
at the My Spirit Experience
Yeah.
studio.
That's always good.
And we have a guest tonight.
We do. So we have our friend and fellow Bigfoot researcher, Allan Yerxa, is with us tonight, all the way from Canada. So how are you, Allan?
I am finally warming up.
Yes.
Doing quite well. I mean, the
Yes.
weather is finally broken. It's no longer minus 20.
Yep.
So yes, I'm doing
Same.
quite well. Doing quite well.
Good. Yeah, it's finally, right? It's been a crazy winter, but it's been up and down here. So I don't know if you've had warm spots up there or not, but wow, what a weird year. That's all I'm saying. So have you been getting out? Have you been getting out in the woods and looking for Squatch since we've last talked? I think you were with us last time on this Paranormal Smorgasbord in October, right?
Yeah, I think I was. Yeah, that was about October.
Yeah.
Since then, there has been some activity. There's a place I usually check. It's called. It's local, probably within a couple miles of my house. It's called a power line. It's just, you know what they are.
Yeah.
So I'm out cruising down there 2 weeks ago, and side by side, just checking it out because I found footprints out there before, and it's like you debunk it yourself. You don't really believe what you're seeing when you first see it. So I went back, that was last year. So I went back again this year, and I found the same damn footprint, same set, almost in the same place. So this year, I took pictures of them and everything, and then strided them out, measured them about 3 feet across, from stride. They were a clear indentation into the snow. So it wasn't, if you can picture a crisp footprint right into the snow. And there was a good series of them, probably about 25, heading from the middle of the power line right into the bush line. Now, I could only go so far because the snow was deep and I couldn't really track it. But that was probably one incident. And I'd always thought about that one place. And it was, and I actually got to this higher place above it, and it'd be a perfect place to set up some cameras. So that's probably the next thing, or, that I would do. I do have a couple cameras, or maybe just get up there, wait for things to settle down and just sit and watch.
Yes. That's what you need to do.
So you were on in October. This is since October. Was it snowy or not snowy?
Snowy.
So you got these footprints in the snow?
Yes, I do.
Cool. Okay.
I love big footprints in the snow because that is so cool. Yeah, we've seen them. And did they just disappear? Did you follow the trail or no?
As far as I could, it just looked like there was a disturbance in the snow. And then they kind of disappeared. It was probably about 15 to 20 footprints. And then there was this little, looked like a disturbance or something close to the bush line, and then nothing. And whereas the other set from last year just appeared from the same place, went out into the bush. But the funny thing about it is that on the other side of the trail, there's nothing.
Right. That's what we've found too when we find them. And they just disappear. They just suddenly
out of nowhere disappear.
Yes.
Nothing.
Yes.
I mean, it's not anybody walking from the bush line to the trail.
No.
It's the other way.
Yes.
Because if it was a continuation, you'd see something across.
Yeah. That's
I love it.
And okay, so that's the one case since then. The other one, there's I think I might have told you about a walking trail close to my house, but it's in Fort Francis. It's like again, this one's kind of weird too. That where that sighting was is probably, yeah, again, probably about within a 2-mile radius of my house, but it's more towards Fort Francis. And this is on a walking trail. Okay. Now you can discount it that maybe somebody wandered off and just wandered down this trail. However, what kind of discounts this, these pictures that I actually took, and that's the area when I went to go try and I guess save the Bigfoot print and stuff like that. I tried doing all that cool stuff. It didn't work. But these footprints were off the beaten track. I mean, when you go to like public parks and everything like that, you generally go along the public places. For some reason, this group went off on a tangent and just went out on their own and found this massive footprint. And that's close. That's really close, to within the town and the res.
So what do you think about that? Because, you and I have talked about this, but we have 3 research areas that are within, it takes maybe 45 minutes to get there from town, right? So, and this is the Twin Cities of Minnesota. It's big, right? So it's that close to the metro area. Isn't that interesting? And I think people would be a little afraid if they knew it was this close to big populous areas, don't you think?
Yeah, you know what? They are afraid.
They are.
I mean, I've had some First Nations people, some other elders have told me don't say anything, but in my opinion, it's all education. It's all misunderstanding. It's not a beast. It's a big, hairy, friendly, furry monster out in the bush. We can learn a lot. It's the understanding of the creature. In my opinion, it's a flesh and blood creature like us. Okay. That lives and spends time in its own dimension area. And for some odd reason enters our plane of existence to go do its little Bigfoot things around here. Okay. Now
I love
it
that.
might sound funny, but that is the essence, I believe.
I agree.
And then while they're here, they do their, like I said, their little Bigfoot things or whatever. Maybe they like the place out near Minneapolis. They have their areas.
Yes.
Before colonization, before humankind, they were here. They had their own areas, their own specific areas. And those are the areas today that are squatchy.
Yes.
And they will leave signs. You've seen them.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, for some odd reason, I don't find stick structures and stuff like that over here.
You don't?
You have a lot over there. I look for them, but I mean, and there's differences, in what we find in different research areas.
Yeah. It's interesting.
We had a question that just popped on the screen, and that was our producer, Jason Trost, actually was asking you, Allan, do you believe Squatch spends most of his time elsewhere?
Yes, I do. Okay, now here's a story related to me by a lady in Manitoba, Winnipeg. Okay, I was out squatching around somewhere like I normally do at a powwow. I had this big, anyway, she was attracted to my t-shirt. It was a big squatchy thing, and she pulled me over. We started talking, and she said her dad was abducted by a Bigfoot and and taken to their world.
Really?
Okay, now,
Like that.
the time Okay, now she goes into talking about this time element. 2 years went by in our time,
Mm-hmm.
a week over there in their time, moved slower.
Mhm.
Okay. And this is a story she told me like probably 3 years ago. So that is something that has always struck with me. And those are the kind of stories that researchers should be listening to. Somebody
Yes.
pulls them aside and says little
Yeah.
things like that.
Yep.
Because those little itsy bitsy pieces of information help,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
For the overall picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do believe he spends most of their time in their own realm or their own existence, and then sort of, for whatever reason, just kind of pop over and say, hey, I'm going to go freak out Al and make some footprints down this way.
Well, I agree with that too,
Yeah.
because we'd have a lot more evidence here if they were here.
Yes,
more than
if they were here more. Yep. I
We'd have
agree.
A lot more interaction and evidence.
Yes.
So I
Okay,
agree
here's
with both.
another thing too. The weather is warming up. They're going to be on the move a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I noticed patterns in this area. Closer to springtime, they'll be out moving from the sacred places to wherever it is they have to go. Okay, there's a couple places like that are local. Okay,
Mhm.
and one of the ideas is to, again, trail cams, that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's going to be exciting within the next couple months.
Yes. Yes.
Yep. It is a good time because you don't have the extreme cold, but you don't have the bugs yet.
Right.
Well,
Nice.
Yes.
Great time.
and
to
what
go.
we do have, the snowpack will stay a little longer, so it'll be a little easier to get out there, once the roads are opening up a little bit and I can get to where it is that I normally go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. Yeah, winter has always been my favorite time to squatch, honestly. This year, the weather's been so crazy, though. It's like, we plan on going and then you can't and whatever. But,
Well, yeah, because we don't go in 20 below.
well,
That's been
but
really
we
good.
have, though.
Well, we have.
We have.
I mean, it's not
Yes.
fun.
No.
Mhm.
No.
It's terrible.
No. Now we're older, Alan. We may be wiser or we just don't want to be cold. I don't know.
I wouldn't have any of those in that cold.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
But-
so
Yeah, you know
another
what?
question?
And, here's another thing too that you can track, or I can track. Bigfoot movements in association with. I think we talked about forestry before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now they call it the Ministry of Natural Resources
Mm-hmm.
and Forestry in Canada. What they have is a forest management plan where they cut down certain blocks of land, forest per year. You can trace Bigfoot encounters and sightings in close proximity to these places.
Mm-hmm.
There have been local Bigfoot encounters with loggers.
Yeah.
There's a dude, I'm just going to come out and say it. There's a dude from one of the local First Nations, Seine River. Okay. He's a logger. He's my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
He asked me to go out and check out this one place because he got freaked out. It was his, he does cutting for M&R. He went out there and he got scared off by howls, screaming. He had I call it a shadow sighting, just something off, on the road, that kind of thing, and then disappeared. So there was a number of things. The guy gave it up and never went back.
We've heard that story though a lot, Alan. We've heard that story a lot.
Yeah.
Did you go there?
No, I haven't made it out there yet.
Okay.
And that's one of the local areas that would be perfect. Maybe just need a couple people to go out there with me. Hint, hint.
Like the girls, we need to come up. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I would love to. We need to look at the calendar, Alan, really, because I think it would be really fun to come up there this year. Yeah,
would
and
be.
just even a couple of nights, we can come in on a Thursday and leave on a Sunday or something, you know what I mean? So it's not a big block of time, but it's enough to get out there and look at some things,
And
you
here's
know?
another thing too about that First Nation. They have like across the river from them is where a place where they really they don't go. It's
Mhm,
like haunted. It's,
mhm. It's not the
there's
mound, is
bad.
it?
I think we could get in there.
Oh, you do?
Stuff like that. But
I'm
there's
in, I'm
local
in.
places. There are local places like that.
Yeah.
You know,
So
I mean, I wouldn't think twice about bringing us out to the sacred place and us
Yeah.
spending a few hours. I've taken people out there for vision quests and stuff, and they
Mhm,
heard freaky stuff.
mhm.
I've stayed out there overnight. This is before all my squatching stuff, and I had an
Yeah.
experience out there, not understanding what it was, but I do
Yes.
now.
Yes. I think you told us about that actually. One of the last times maybe
Mhm.
you were on. Yeah, I remember you
Yeah.
talking about that. But yeah, no.
Okay, so we have a couple of comments here that I want to
Okay.
get to. One of them that you were talking about was a similar experience with the European accounts of being abducted.
Oh,
So there was a comment
by a
in here that,
squatch?
yeah, that someone was abducted. So that same story that you're telling, someone in our chat room is saying the same thing
Yeah.
over in Europe. That's
In Europe.
a similar account over there. And Cryptovania TV also had a that their comment saying loggers are their biggest source of
Yes,
sightings.
it is true. Yep.
Over at Cryptovania.
Well, because they're out there all the time.
Yeah, so that's
You know?
helpful to have people just in the woods all the time.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah,
they say,
exactly. And you know what? And when you talk to the officials in charge, I once talked to, I don't know what he was, the commander of
mm-hmm,
the ministry or whatever. He just laughed at me and said, no. I was talking to a group of about 17 MNR officials, and they all just
mm-hmm.
laughed and said no. Because I dragged them to a conference I was having on the reserve, and I had all this Squatch stuff on the walls and everything, just to see what they would
Mm-hmm.
say. And
Mm-hmm.
some of the, but there's always the one guy though that takes you aside later and says, "Hey,
No.
yeah, I know."
Yes. Yes.
yeah,
And we've run into that. Speaking of, we were on the US side, but man, I remember like 10 years ago, we talked to witnesses about all this stuff, and they said, go see this guy. Who's this guy? And he's a postmaster of this little post office. I don't even remember what the name of the town was because he has some good stories. So we went to talk to him, and somebody shut him up, right? Because he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, oh, okay. But I mean, it happens a lot though, right? They
Yeah.
won't say anything, but then they'll take you aside. And that happens to us almost every time we do a town hall. People take us
Uh-huh.
aside and tell us their stories. And fascinating.
well, because they have to live with these people.
That's true.
So if they're saying it out
Yes.
in public, and there's people that don't believe
Yes.
them, they're going to be
Yes.
they're going to go after them to no end.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
some people just can't say it out in public because
Mhm.
of the people that they live with, and that's
Mhm.
in a small town especially.
hmm
You're never going to hear the end of it.
Well,
So,
and abductions. Here's the other thing. So I've heard from Native Americans that, you hear these stories about Native women that go missing for 2 years and then they come back with a baby. And they say they were abducted by Squatch and went to wherever the Squatches live. Have you heard that, Alan?
Well, I haven't heard. No, I haven't heard that at all. However, I could see that happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
With especially with some of the close contacts that have
Mm-hmm.
been reported.
Mm-hmm.
Like people getting followed,
Yes.
people seeing them in their own communities. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
there was one community, okay, and a local community named Manitou. They had a rash of sightings. There was a lot. But when you talk to them, they'll just go, no, no, no. But, you
Yeah.
always have an insight. Okay. Anyways,
Yeah.
that community was going through a really big health crisis, drug crisis. Okay. And they started seeing these beings around. It wasn't because of the drugs. However, it was messages,
Yes.
misunderstood.
I have
Okay.
heard that also.
Misunderstood. And there was a lot of fear in
Mhm.
rampant that run
Mhm.
rampant in the community.
What I've heard from some of the natives up near where we go a lot is that they feel that Sasquatch comes to you in times of need. Like, see, same, right? So he will appear to try to help you, not scare you. And I'm guessing maybe that's what that was all about. I don't know. You
It
know?
is. I treat all the encounters that people come to me with,
Mm-hmm.
and then we go into a little bit into their background and what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
One guy out in out near Fortune Bay. I don't know what that reserve is over there.
Mm-hmm.
I think you know which one I'm talking about.
I think I do
Anyways,
too. Yeah.
I did a talk over there one time, and this guy came forward, related his sighting to me, but he was alone. He wanted to know what it meant, if it meant anything.
Yeah.
So I asked him, were you going through a rough time in your life?
Mm-hmm.
He said he just started abusing drugs and alcohol because of a death in his family.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay, treat this as a positive message.
Yes.
Get back on the road, straighten out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It made sense to him.
Mm-hmm.
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 Yeah.
And that could very well be it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think he takes care of his people, Alan. I mean, I've been doing this for many years. And as you know, we're always welcomed in on the reservations up in northern Minnesota. And the elders have always told us the same story, right? He represents one of the sacred teachings, right? Honesty, and that he's there to take care of you, but you shouldn't bother him, right? He'll come for you when you need him. Pretty much.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, there's got to be some truth to it, I think. So,
well, and if they wanted to hurt us, they could.
They easily, right?
I mean,
Easily.
I don't think it would take much if they
No.
actually would want to
No.
do that. I don't believe they want to.
No.
I don't think they're here for anything that has to do with us other than cutting through or doing something that we don't understand.
Exactly.
I talked to my spirit guide about this one time, and he was like, there's a reason that they have to be there.
Mhm.
They don't live there.
Mm-hmm.
They have to come through for whatever reason that we can't explain to you guys, humans. Right?
Yep.
And just leave them alone.
Yeah.
And they're so much more advanced than you humans are.
Yeah.
That's what he told us.
Yeah.
And so we're like, yeah, okay, that totally makes sense because of everything that hasn't happened with them.
Yes.
They haven't come to take over the planet. They haven't tried to hurt us.
No.
They're
trying to save us.
And and sometimes it can be really helpful.
And Alan, didn't you once tell me once when they do the clear cutting in the woods that there's a lot of Sasquatch sightings when that happens because they're there trying to say, don't cut down my home. This is hurting you as much as it hurts me.
Yeah, don't cut down your home.
This is, Mama humans. Earth and the forests, and you can't be doing this. It's like they're warning.
Yeah, we need it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, they're all over the place. They're a lot closer than people think and realize.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's like I said, within 2 miles of my home, there's actually a couple of places.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and there's like this power line that cuts right through the reserve. If you went and sat out there one night, just sat, definitely going to hear something.
Absolutely.
Going to have an experience.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
And Heidi mentioned something particularly interesting. She mentioned spirit guides.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are true to yourself and what you're doing, you will have a good connection with your own spirit guide that will protect you out there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Okay. And that the spirit of the Squatch will also see that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then if you're true and right with yourself and you're out there being honest, well, that's what they stand for, isn't it?
Yes. Honesty. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I always ask my spirit for an experience before I go out, if they're willing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
If they're willing to show me something. That's what I ask for.
Yes.
I mean, I don't go out there expecting a rock thrown at me or a branch
No.
or anything like that.
No.
But
But when it happens, it's like, oh my God, what is going on?
has that ever happened to you?
Yes, it has. One of the very first times I was out in the woods doing this, right after we started this stuff, we were out way up in the Chippewa National Forest. I'm not going to say where, but it was, you know that area very well,
Yeah.
Alan. And we were out in the woods and we were on the reservation, right? And we were out on one of these old forest roads that nobody goes on, right? It's not even very well maintained. And yeah, we knew they were around. You can feel them. Maybe you
Yeah.
can't see them. It was like 1:00 in the morning. There was no moon, so it was pitch black. There was a bunch of us girls. We knew they were around. We got a little scared, But yeah, all of a sudden we had rocks that were coming up and over, and then they would fall at our feet. Like, hey, here I am. Come see me. And then it went from that to we felt like we were being surrounded. And I got a little worked up, could I just say? And we had like all our paranormal stuff, right? So we had thermocams, we had infrared cams, nothing was showing up. So if it would have been a moose, a deer, a bear, all of that would have shown up too, which is very interesting, right? But I could hear this creature, which I believe was a Bigfoot, within 4 to 6 feet of me. You could hear him rustling around in the weeds. Yeah, I was a little freaked out. I'm like, okay, I think we need to offer some tobacco, and tell them that we're not here to hurt them. And we did, and it stopped immediately. It was like, I guess they knew, Alan, that we were there for just to understand what's happening, and we weren't there to hurt them. Don't you think? That was my take on it.
I've got a question for Heidi. Do you think they cloak?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think they do too.
Absolutely. Yep.
I mean, with all this technology and stuff, is that they're just a little bit more technically advanced?
What I was told, because Tim and I both had a very deep discussion about Sasquatch with one of the spirit guide that we share, that works with us when we're doing this kind of work. And so we were asking him about it, and he said, it's hard for us to explain to humans exactly his role in your, like, you guys being there, but there's a reason he's there, but he doesn't live there. So he comes and goes through these openings. He is a very elevated being. They are very elevated being. They're very intelligent, and they have an advanced purpose that we cannot understand.
Yeah.
But they do have a reason for coming through here. So we just have to respect that and to be aware and to just kind of stay out of their way. They'll come through as they need to do whatever it is that we don't fully understand as humans, like the human race can't. As Spirit Guide likes to tell us, you don't have a basket I can put that in. That's his answer. When we ask something that they can't explain to humans, he said, you don't have a basket for me to put that in. And I remember that was the first time he said it, I was like, oh, okay. Well, that kind of ends that,
Wow.
But it was so cool because he was so serious and genuine, and you could tell he had a lot of respect for these beings and just respect, like a lot of respect for them, and wanted us to like understand to also have that kind of respect. And so I'm still curious, and I would still go out and look in the woods, but I would definitely keep my distance, and anything that came up as evidence is like super, I'm grateful. Absolutely. Even if it's not a visual. It's just really, I'm fascinated, but also I try to be very respectful. Because I just don't understand.
Yeah, I know.
That when you had that rock throwing incident, did you notice if the bush went quiet?
Oh yeah. It was quiet. And so these rocks came up, and like I said, they weren't like thrown at us. It was like they came up and fell like at our feet, and it was several. It wasn't like just one or two. It was like many, not all at the same time, but just one here or two. It was like, well, here I am. What do you want to know? Or you know what I mean? It was very crazy. It was like, wow, talk about a good first experience. It's like, oh my God, but yeah, it was cool. But yeah, the whole thing when we felt like we were surrounded, I was scared. I'll admit it. I was scared to death. It was dark. We couldn't see anything. We knew something was around us. And I said, "Oh my gosh, oh God, we got to offer tobacco and tell them that we're here for all the good reasons." And the minute we did that, stopped. The threat was gone. We were just there. There we go. So it's a really cool story. But yeah, I do believe it was Bigfoot. You know?
Uh-huh. Yeah, the some of the other experiences around here also lead into like well, Bigfoot itself also paranormal, but you know, there's also other places around here to check out with regards to paranormal encounters, you know, that kind of stuff. Dark clouds, flying things, you know, those kinds of
yeah.
cool.
Oh, for sure. Well, we've heard a lot of stories up that way, Alan. I mean, some of the coolest stories and people I've met are people that are from that area where you are, International Falls. The whole 9 yards. You know, it's just like a treasure trove of witnesses up there, you know? So, yeah, it's very fun. So we have to get that trip booked. We have to figure out a weekend.
Definitely.
Yes, I will talk to the girls. And actually, we've invited the Sim Crew girls to join the Cryptid Chicks now. So we have
really?
more. So we have, yeah, and you've met a few of them up at Bigfoot Days. So Annie's in, man, Annie's coming out with us this weekend. She's just raring to go. And a couple others. So yeah, it's going to be really fun. It's going to be fun to have them on there because we know they're fabulous investigators because we have them on the Sim Crew. So now we're just moving them to the woods. But we find a lot of paranormal in the woods too. Lots of paranormal. Oh, all the time.
Have you ever come across whistling?
Sometimes I have.
Not very often.
But we have. Remember that time at the big research center or research area that we have? We came across that and then we heard that noise that we heard, remember, that we thought was a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think there was whistles that time too.
Yep. We've heard it a few times.
And
out in the woods, but also like nobody's around.
Nobody's around.
And it's so quiet that it would have to be someone close.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not like a whistle that you hear way in the distance and who knows where it's coming from. But
Yep.
Yeah. But also
how did you feel when you heard it?
Did you hear that?
Yeah, like
yeah,
excited.
It is.
It didn't feel
exciting.
bad.
No, I wasn't scared. It wasn't, the first time I was scared and then it was like, if he was going to hurt us, he could have hurt us. He was right there, so they're not going to hurt us, but they just need to know we're out there for good and not intending bad.
You know what? That happened to me last springtime. I found a footprint and then I thought, wow, this is cool. So I'm just going to sit here on this rock and just just sit here and go, wow, I found this thing. Anyways, I was just sitting there going, yeah, this is cool. And I did hear the whistle.
Yeah.
I did hear one.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And from where it came from, it was just in a bush area. And it's almost like if somebody was whistling, you would have seen them whistle.
Oh, for sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you hear a whistle?
Yep.
It wasn't. It didn't come through the bush area. The sound. No. It was like
close.
It would have been like someone standing there.
Yeah, exactly. Because you can tell if something like that is coming from a long ways away or not.
Oh, definitely.
So,
yeah.
Again, and then it was quiet. I heard the whistle, and found the footprint, and I thought, wow, these are all the cool classic freaking signs of a Squatch.
Yeah.
And this is like in a place that I regularly went to and crossed it all the time, never realized. And then all of a sudden there's a footprint.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, dude wants to come out of the bush and be known.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Cool. I love it.
Well, Alan,
this has been fun.
This has been so fun. We'll catch up again, but I think we need to wrap out the show. Yeah. But we'll do this again come summer because you'll be out more now. The girls will be out more summer, but I'm going to get a hold of you. I'm going to huddle the girls together and see what they think about a trip to Fort Francis. make sure
Yeah,
everybody can get over there. First of all, I
Oh,
haven't enhanced
yeah.
license, but, but and come up because I
Yeah,
think it would
mighty
just
on the
be
res.
it would be really cool. Yeah.
Okay, that
So
would be
I will
cool.
get a hold of you, but we'll have you on like in a few months. I think every few months we need to have you on and just check in and
You've
see
always
what
got
things
new
go.
stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And in the
So,
meantime, I'll keep compiling information, and what I
yeah.
do is just add to my database and that
Yeah.
kind of stuff,
For
cryptic
sure.
encounters, all that kind of stuff.
For
Cool.
sure.
Cool.
Well, thank you, Allan, for joining. And if anyone needs to get a hold of you from up where you are, how can they get in touch with you? Can they get a
I
hold
have
of you
no
via
idea. You can
Facebook?
try Facebook if you want, if you
Okay.
dare.
If you dare, yes, be careful.
Intercepted.
Yes. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for watching our show
Make
tonight,
which.
and thank you, Allan. And
Yeah.
for any troops who may be watching, please be safe. And thank you for your service.
And everybody in the chat room, thanks for your comments and for your questions. We love having you here. If you haven't already, go ahead and follow us on our YouTube
Yes,
channel. We'd
please.
love to have you
Mhm.
stay on top of things. And also Cryptovania TV and Jason Trost, our producer. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
Our most wonderful producer.
We love the work you do and we love being here. So
Yes.
thanks. And we'll see you next
Yes.
week for the Paranormal Smorgasbord.
Yes. Yes. Good night, everyone. Thank you, Allan.